What I want to do is walk you through Matt's day, doing what he does when he walks in first thing in the morning. So the first thing he needs to do is go in and check the voicemail. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So Matt comes in about 9 in the morning and arrives. What he's going to do then is, all right, I got to check the voicemail. So what he's going to do is he's going to dial in. He's going to pick up a handset, he's going to put it on his neck, he's going to dial in and start to listen. So he's going to listen to the first voicemail. What he's then going to do is scribble everything that he has heard while he is listening to this message. He has no pause, he has no rewind, he has no forward, any of those things. So he inevitably has missed something, so he has to go back and listen to the entire message again. As he is clearly he has missed something, so he has to go back and fix his mistakes on his scribbled piece of paper just to make sure that he's got all of the information right. At that point, he has finished the first voicemail. But then he has to do it another 30 times. He doesn't know he has to do it another 30 times because he doesn't know how many voicemails he actually has. He just listens to them as they come. 30 time after time after time, repeating the same process. So once that is done, so if you're averaging maybe 3 to 5 minutes per voicemail, he rolled in at 9 a.m., it's now 11:36, and he's finally got through the voicemail box, it's cleared out, and he's ready to do his day. But the next step is transcribing everything that he's written down into a spreadsheet, because that's what his legislative correspondent wants from him. So then everything gets transcribed into the spreadsheet. A little bit later, that is then emailed to the legislative correspondent. This is the person who is in charge of the correspondence in the congressional office.
Are we done yet?
At which point, the LC then starts to copy these messages one by one into the CRM system, where every single message that has been sent, that's the only way you are going to get a response. Everything that gets responded to goes through this system. And now Seamus is done. So what are we doing about that? We are a small organization, and we're like, okay, well, what can we do? Something that I have long held on to is this quote from Evan Williams of Twitter. Several years ago, somebody asked him, how do you build a successful online business? And this is what he said. He's like, you take a human desire, preferably one that's been around for a really long time, and then identify that desire and use modern technology to take steps out. So when I look at Matt's day, as a product person and as an engineer, all I see are opportunities to take steps out. And so that's what we've done. And if we go back to the problems that Seamus has talked about, what are the solutions that we're coming up with? So with skyrocketing volume, what we're looking at is unlimited bandwidth. It's 2018, storage is virtually free, and there's no reason that there should be these artificial caps on voicemails that you are sending in. Nobody should be rejected from having their voice heard just because of technology. That is crazy. And additionally, we build everything on our serverless architecture, which means that when things are crazy, for whatever reason, whatever's in the news that day, and everybody decides that they need to call this office, we're able to handle that with no problem whatsoever. I do not lose sleep over this. With staff capacity, what is it that we're doing about that? It's smart automation. So instead of requiring the input of a voicemail to be the human ear and brain and hand, we can use speech to text to transcribe all of those voicemails automatically. We can use IVR prompts to gather additional information, like keying in your zip code. That way we know, is this person in district, out of district? Because staffers do prioritize their constituents over non-constituents. That is their job. Those are who they represent. And then finally, we're able to automatically detect when a call is from a mobile device. We can do SMS follow-ups to gather additional information that is much easier to type in rather than say and do speech to text on, like an email address, for example. And then finally, these legacy systems. We are not in a position, and congressional offices are not in a position to rip out an entire deeply entrenched system and replace it with something new. So the approach we are taking is with APIs and integrations, very similar to what Twilio does itself. So instead of replace, we partner with these legacy systems. We are able to provide additional functionality that they don't have the capacity or the expertise to build. And we're able to kind of take small pieces, loosely join them together within these larger systems. So when congressional staffers are trying to do their work, it's not, we're not requiring them to change their workflow. We're not requiring them to change their tools. All we're doing is making them faster. So let's do a quick run through of how this works from an architecture perspective. A call comes into Congress, at which point they forward the call to our Twilio number. We do a little bit of back and forth with the Twilio APIs in an IVR system, so we're able to collect information. Once that is done and the message has been left, transcribed, and stored in the cloud, we can ask, okay, is this a mobile number? If so, let's do some SMS follow-ups. First of all, by saying, hey, guess what? Your voicemail, we actually got it. We really appreciate hearing from you, and we're going to get back to you as soon as we can. So instead of you guys feeling like this is going into a black hole, you actually get some feedback. We close that loop. And then finally, once all of the data has been collected, we make that data available as structured JSON through a RESTful API to the CRM vendors. So if we go back to Matt and look at what his day looks like here, again, Matt rolls into the office, and his job at 9 a.m., his job is to check the voicemail. And when he gets there, he logs into the CRM, and everything is there waiting for him. So we've just saved 3 to 4 hours of time just by smartly employing technology to solve basic problems and take steps out. So let's take a look at what this looks like and sounds like. So in this demonstration, I'm going to show you Seamus Kraft, a constituent from California, will be calling his representative, who is Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you for calling the office of Democratic Leader Nancy Pelosi. Our office is currently closed. We open each workday no later than 8:30 a.m. Please feel free to leave a message after the tone, and it will be listened to when we open. Thank you.
Please say your first and last name, followed by the pound sign.
Seamus Kraft.
Please enter your 5-digit zip code, followed by the pound sign. Thank you. I now have all of the information I need. At the tone, please leave your message for Nancy Pelosi.
Hi, Congresswoman Pelosi. This is Seamus Kraft. I'm a constituent who lives at 710 Ashbury Street in San Francisco. I'm calling because I'm really concerned about the direction of our country. I don't think Congress is very responsive to people like me anymore. Heck, I don't know if anybody's even going to get this voicemail. But thanks for listening, and have a nice day.
So at this point, we have collected all of this information. Seamus's message has been transcribed into digital text, and everything has been stored in the cloud. We've also detected that he has called from a mobile phone, and we're able to ask specific questions. Primarily, like, do you want a response? A lot of times, you'll call, you don't want somebody to call you back. You just want that person, your representative, to know how you feel about something. And then if you do want a response, we can ask by what channel. Do you want a letter, which is what they're accustomed to do? Do you want an email? And those are basically the options at this point. Then we're able to actually get all of the information we need to do that response. So you're welcome to give this a try. This is a demonstration, so if you call this, you will not be connected to Nancy Pelosi directly. but we will make sure that every voicemail that you do decide to leave gets to her office. And we would love it if you gave her a call, especially if you live in San Francisco. Let her know that you appreciate that she's about to become a pilot customer for us to trial it out. And we think that this would be a fantastic use. So real quickly, what is next for us? So we've started with voicemail, we're removing steps, but what we would like to do is start to expand what we are doing with communications. So live call handling, instead of just after hours and weekends, let's have every call that comes into the office come through our system. With that, we want to start collecting analytics so that we can give insights into the chiefs of staff so that they know, have a high level understanding of what the communication coming in is. We're also looking at chat, SMS chat, and we've done some pilots with a congressional office already who basically shut down his Facebook Messenger but still wanted a way to communicate one-on-one with his constituents. And then finally, I'm really excited about taking all of these things and putting them together in unified communications. And so we've been working with the Flex team very closely and are excited to see, is this a solution that is appropriate for the congressional office context. So with that, thank you so much for your time.